Hi, my name is Raquel Castillo, and this is my virtual identity collage. The title page here has some surface level information that anybody can ask about me at any time. We have my zodiac sign, my favorite food, my favorite animal, and my favorite color. The collage of photos behind the Russian nesting doll here is from an inspiration board that my best friend made about me. She said that all the photos reminded her of me. In page 19 of our textbook, it states that we use other people's comments to validate, reinforce, or alter our perceptions of who we think we are. Considering she's been my best friend for about 6 years now, I think she has a pretty accurate representation of what goes on in my head. The Russian nesting doll is going to be a common theme that's going through my presentation. It's going to represent the different chapters of my life and opening up to the different traits about me and why I do some of the things that I do. We're going to start from the present and work our way backwards, which may be a little confusing, but I should be able to clear it up in the end. I'm 19 right now, and I'm working my way towards a bright future, which I keep getting told takes a lot of hard work, and it's going to be a few more years of school, and then also some balancing out of some adult duties that I'm going to need to take care of. I've already ran into some of those adult hardships. Right here, you can see my car that I had bought, and then 6 days later, I had gotten T-boned by a truck. I have gone through the hardships, but I do also enjoy large facets of my life. I have these three guys that are all of my pets. I've had these two for much longer. He's the newest addition. And I also like to play video games in my free time, so much so that I even work in an arcade type place. I've laid out the photos in this way for a very specific reason. It's because this cycle is going to be continuous. I'm going to need to continue to work hard for the things that I want and for a brighter future. The next chapter of my life, I would say, was very life changing at 17. I had a lot of hard things happen. It was my last year of high school, but we also had the COVID-19 pandemic going on, and it's still going on today. Well, also my mom and my stepdad got divorced, which I do say stepdad very lightly. He did raise me most of my life. But along with all of this, I'm still trying to keep up the illusion that I'm this great student that's keeping everything together and is ready for college. I was on my last strand just a little bit. Page 21 in our textbook states that interdependent self perceptions are based on the belief that traits and abilities are specific to a particular context or relationship. I was juggling so many different facets of my personality for school and for family because my family was all going, while my parents were having the divorce, my entire family was going through it. So I needed to tailor how I support each individual person. And this was very stressful and it was a very hard time in my life. But it was also one of the best years that I had ever had because I had gotten into my first relationship. Being surrounded by such positivity while I was in such a dark place really helped my self esteem and improved my self perception. The next chapter I have in my life would be whenever I was about 14. This was also pretty hard for me for different reasons. I had just found out that my family tree looked like this instead of the two parents and three kids. My stepdad, I found out that my stepdad was my stepdad. I thought until I was 14 that my stepdad was my biological father. I felt very isolated and alone and confused. I told my parents that I was fine and that I was dealing with it just perfectly fine. It didn't affect me at all. But it was a little confusing because everybody was telling me that I was supposed to be mad that they lied to me. But I didn't know how to process it. I was going through all of this as I was heading into high school and trying to maintain this perfect student agenda that I had, these expectations that I have placed upon myself. Page 23 in our textbook states that people who have a negative self perception are more likely to engage in negative self talk. I would definitely say this was one of the times that negative self talk got the worst. The next stage of my life, I would say, is going to be a big jump. It was around 4 years old. I don't remember much. I just know life was very easy and simple then. I was playing on playgrounds, I was hanging out with my animals, and I was with my mom all the time. From right before I started school, I was attached to my mom at the hip. We had the strongest relationship, and that's really who I looked up to the most. The next chapter in my life would be whenever I was about 1 years old. And of course, I don't actually remember all of this. This is all stuff that I have been told. And I would argue that this is one of the most life changing experiences that I guess I never went through because I don't remember it. um, Whenever I was less than a year old, my biological dad still had me in the Dominican Republic. So that's what all these pictures are over here. And right before I was about to turn 1, you could see me here just a few months later, turning 1 with my mother back here in America. And I was able to meet my siblings right before my first birthday, or my half siblings right before my first birthday. And I don't know where I would be today if I didn't make the switch from my biological dad to my biological mom. My life would have been completely different. In conclusion, my parental relationships or lack thereof in certain contexts have had a huge impact on my self perception. Now my family means the world to me, and I wouldn't trade the relationships that I have for the world. I've been through a lot to become the person that I am today, but those experiences are what we need to progress as people. We can't use our fear of failure as an excuse to not push forward.